Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Well, another decent day on the way today before it's not, so they say. Then we have a few days of rain. What's wrong, Davey? You can't find it. He can't find it.
There's some technical difficulties occurring this morning.
You guys are just all mad today. Holy moly.
Oh, no, I'm not mad.
I'm on what should be for the New York Mets. A 2-4-6 game win streak, and it's a 2-game win streak. But they're listen.
It's starting to show signs of life.
It's do or die, and they're starting to show some signs of life. That could all end today, though, as they play their third game with the Nationals. They need a sweep. There's got to be a net gain here on these 2-3 game series that they're playing. There's got to have a net gain somewhere. Tanya Powers. We'll speak with her. Wow, there's a ton going on. The Kennedy family is coming out and really going after Robert Kennedy pretty hard. And RFK Jr. is now suing Nevada's top election official over ballot access he wants on the ballot. And you know what? Here's the funny thing about it is nobody wants him on.
Yeah.
The Democrats, the Biden people, the Trump people, nobody wants him on because no one really knows who he's going to draw from. And it may vary from state to state.
He's really trying to get on the debate stage as well. He really wants to be in the fight with these two.
Well, if he does get on the debate stage, he's going to rip his shirt off and do push-ups because there's a video of him doing that out there. The Reid Rundown. Andrew Reid is a legal analyst. He's an attorney, actually, with Fox News Radio, and we'll take 3 stories and just dig in. And I always like this segment. It's a good one.
The Reid Rundown.
Senator John Manion is running. He's in the 50th district, of course, is running for Congress, and the 22nd congressional district. And he has a Democratic primary coming up against Sarah Clee Hood.
Yes,
and that's got to be in a few weeks, right?
It is, and I don't know that you and I have really been following the Democrat primary too much, but I figured. With the 8,000 John Manion commercials I see during the Yankee game, it was time for us to get him on. So
I haven't seen a single one on the Mets games.
Yeah, well, maybe he sees the value.
Maybe he realizes. Ryan Nobles from NBC is coming up. He's been following the Hunter Biden trial, I believe, and we'll get Ryan on a little later on this morning as well. We have a chance for you to win. As a matter of fact, coming up. And I believe if you go to NewYorkSash.com, I got to double check this. I believe the website is spelled out. I got to keep that because I got some great photos I'm going to post later today of from Tom Laughlin.
Oh, Tom is a great photographer.
Of Chief Brooks and some of the stuff. And actually it timelines some of the things that remember when Chief Brooks had the Happy Birthday, Baby Jesus sign at the fire station.
Yes.
And people were like, that should come down. There were outsiders saying it should come down. And I'll never forget Chief Brooks saying, well, listen, I'm okay with anybody. If you're a Muslim and you want to put up your menorah, then have at it.
I don't know that that's how that works, but.
So, but the reality was he was very religious. and would fight the fight. But anyway, he's got some pictures of that up as well. We'll post them later on today. But I said New York, so NEW New York sash.com. Let's see if it's up yet, because I got to tell you what you're going to be able to do. And then that would be //Keeler. New York / oh, it's saying that it's not live yet, but it's going to be. We're getting 4 New York Sash windows put in our home.
Ooh.
Count them, Davey. 4. 1, 2, 3.
4.
Yeah.
They promoted it during the show this weekend. I saw it on the graphic.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Win Keeler's windows.
So you'll have a chance.
With a mugshot of you.
We're giving away 4
We are
New York
also
Sash windows.
giving away the same windows that I'm getting.
Wow.
So you could, and there's no purchase necessary to sign up. And by the end of the show, I'll have a link for you to get in there. But it's a great opportunity, and it costs you nothing at all. And oh, by the way, who's today's hero of the day, David? Do you know who that is? This is Wednesday, June 5th. Mark it down, 2024. Today's hero of the day is
me.
No, it's your mom.
Yes.
Who made deviled eggs this morning
for you.
I know he's taking the credit just because he transported them over there.
But that was the first thing out of her mouth last night when I got home. She said, I made Keeler his deviled eggs, so I need you to take them to him tomorrow.
She is a great deviled egg maker, your mom. Yesterday, we finally dug in on the story. Actually, it was revealed on the air yesterday that an employee of the city of Utica, and I learned more yesterday than I'm just going to tell you that came out of this show, and I'm going to tell you right now. I'm giving credit to Lance and Lee for the one with the question. So he knows things. He's close to things.
We're closer and closer to
we still don't know who he is.
I think I know who he is.
Yeah.
I actually responded to him as who I thought he was yesterday, and he didn't say one way or the other.
Okay. Well, remember, when someone is trying to divert you, a true spy will leave little crumbs that send you in the wrong direction. Like as they're walking in the woods, they'll take one of those crumbs and throw it way over on the other side.
Yeah, right.
Send you in a completely different direction.
Luckily, I'm no ordinary detective.
No, you're a sleuth. You are something. Anyway, because of the question, you said there was an employee that was arrested while on the job. And who was that employee? Well, yesterday they released the information, and it's up on our website. The full story is up on our website. But I later learned they have 2 other scenarios that are going on as well with city employees. So Mayor Galimi has his hands full. Now, of those cases, I don't believe we're in a position where we can break that news as of this point. But this arrest actually was from back in February. And no one, I mean, there were rumors out there, but nobody knew anything until yesterday. Initially, they were saying we can't release it because of employee privacy. But the reality is, once the police department comes in and makes an arrest, that's public knowledge. That's public information. So it is what it is. There's always a story around these things, and so we'll get more as more information comes along. But you know, Lance was the pot stirrer in this case.
He was the whistleblower.
Meanwhile, Richard also enjoys stirring the pot. Pot stirrer. That is what Celeste's friend is. This is Richard saying she is a troublemaker. She is a liar. She is a clueless person. She's an angry... Wow. Richard. She's an angry person who lost an election. She doesn't know what is even going on, but pretends to. She has no business even being allowed on the radio because she is just not a decent person. Thanks. Some would say, Richard, that's the pot stirrer calling the pot stirrer black. That didn't come out right. I'm sorry for that. I apologize. You know where I was going, and it just didn't seem to work right. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Richard, there are people out there that are like, oh, that Richard, what a piece of...
I think a lot of people agree with Richard in that regard.
They do. However, everybody deserves a chance to have their voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we don't have a radio show. Right?
Oh, 100%.
And I love how people are like, wow, you don't let people pull crap. Look what happened yesterday. With the mayor on the air, Lance and Lee pounds out a question to Andrew.
Which I read because I saw it.
Opening up a whole can of worms. Oftentimes, though, we don't see the messages. They may not come in on time. Or we just don't see them. There's a lot of stuff going on. On this board alone, there are 3,200 lights beaming at me. And I got to figure out which one to push. Sometimes I don't see your messages. Did you see Stevie Nicks is coming to the area?
I did not see that.
To upstate New York to perform. I have never seen Fleetwood Mac. I would love to see Fleetwood Mac.
Well, a lot of their members are...
I've never seen the Eagles. And now you really can't see the original Eagles. I've seen Don Henley a few times.
Or Fleetwood Mac either.
I'm just saying I haven't seen, or you can't do Fleetwood Mac anymore, right? Yeah. Tickets for Stevie Nicks. She is coming to perform at the MVP Arena in Albany, coming up on next Wednesday. And I would love to go to that show. Tickets are like it's lower seats. I mean, upper deck seats. Now that is a big arena, are like $85. That's a pretty good deal. We talked yesterday. At some point yesterday, there was a pedestrian hit on Route 81 in Syracuse, and it shut down the highway. That's not a highway I'd want to be walking on.
Yeah, I-81, especially with all the construction.
With all the construction, and then on top of it, I think what ends up happening is people are distracted today. You're grabbing something in your glove compartment. You're trying to plug in your phone because it's going dead. Who knows what? People are distracted. My mother once almost got out of the car because a bee came in the car. We were in the car. My grandmother was in the passenger seat. Luckily, she grabbed the wheel. And luckily, it wasn't moving.
Your mother just
luckily,
laughed.
the car
She
wasn't
said,
moving. Wasn't moving that quickly. My mother was able to get out of the car. I just remember that. I was probably 3. This is unbelievable. I am going to give you breakthrough news today. That comes from the science world. Breakthrough news that is unbelievable, and it shows you if we can all just hang on, there's going to be a cure. There'll be a cure coming for whatever ails you. It's coming. If you can just hang on.
How many years?
I feel bad for the people who died in the 1950s. They died of things we could prevent them from dying today.
Think about that.
Dying from. This is unbelievable. This is going to change the world, and especially in places like, Mississippi. Humans will be, listen to, I can't even believe I'm saying this.
You're leaving us at the edge of our seat.
I'm telling you right now, I am one of the few people in the world talking about this.
You're sure about that?
But and I'm going to tell you where I get my information.
The internet.
Popular Mechanics.
Oh,
I've always loved that magazine. Popular Mechanics. They're in digital form now.
They are,
and they're branching out a little bit. They're doing other things, and they're looking at science. Anyway, within the next 6 years, this is going to kill you.
It's killing me now. I wish you'd just tell me.
Within the next 6 years, humans will have the ability to regrow their teeth.
Really? They don't already?
Do you know the number of people that have their wedding pictures taken in Mississippi with their lips tight because they don't want to show their teeth because they don't have any? This changes everything. I guess you gotta want to have them fixed in order to be able to do it. But within 6 years, scientists are on the verge of what is being called in Popular Mechanics magazine as a dental miracle.
Wow.
Is this not unbelievable?
Yeah, no, I guess you can't regrow.
You know
teeth.
that bones can regrow when they break. Teeth are not so lucky, and it leads to millions of people worldwide suffering from being toothless. And now researchers in Japan are moving a promising tooth-growing medicine into human trials. The first patients, listen to this, are almost right now going into the test phase.
So is it an injection or something that you
How
take?
in the hell would I know?
I would. You're the lead expert on this.
I
this
have
phenomenon,
no
I
idea.
guess.
The first patients will be receiving the drug intravenously. Oh, they do it that way. That's
Oh,
interesting.
through the vein.
In September of this year,
Wow.
a few months away. If the trial is successful, the researchers hope the drug will become available for all forms of toothlessness sometime around 2030. I've got no teeth, but it doesn't matter. I've got something so much better. You see people dancing around a water fountain
Yeah, right.
with no teeth, and then bang, all of a sudden they have teeth.
That's like the Jardiance, right?
Oh, I guess it is. Was that where I got that from? I didn't realize that. An average adult human body contains 206 bones, the hardened mixtures of calcium, minerals, collagen that provide the biological scaffolding that walks us through our day. While we may not think of them much, bones are incredibly resilient. But if they break, they have this ability to regrow and fix themselves, whereas teeth have not. This is going to change. Thank the Japanese.
Of course.
They're the ones doing this. This is unbelievable.
It is a modern medicine miracle.
On the line right now is, oh my God, I hope I didn't offend anybody.
Oh.
On the line right now is,
always
I just
offend.
needed something. I couldn't come up with a name. I just used that one.
You should have said Alabama.
Good morning, Tanya J. Powers. Good morning.
Good morning. What did I miss?
Nothing.
No, nothing. Don't worry about it.
I made fun of,
It was just another Mississippi joke.
I was looking for a state to make fun of, and I used Mississippi, and I'm like, oh my God, Tanya's on the line. Well, that's a mistake.
That's all right,
Yeah.
Tanya. You know who
Are
you're
you
dealing
feeling-
with.
Are you feeling okay about that choice now?
It's a bad choice. It was a bad choice, and I will.
All right.
I'm going to say a little prayer of forgiveness later on today. Listen, can you believe, I don't know if you heard this story, but Popular Mechanics is reporting that Japanese scientists within the next 6 years believe that humans will be able to regrow their teeth. It's unbelievable.
As someone who has paid way too much money for dental work, I applaud this. If they can figure out how to make this work, then let's do it.
Let's do it, right? I mean, think of it, and it's actually an injection. I think that you take. It's really quite amazing, and it's teeth today. Who knows what comes next? So it's very exciting. Boy, have you been watching some of the back and forth, Tanya, from the Kennedy family, and even Maria Shriver and other family members who are ripping on RFK?
I mean, that they've kind of been. They've definitely not been in his corner from the get go about this campaign. They aren't supporters of his campaign, and I guess his platform, to say the least. That's probably putting it mildly. But there's and the story that we're doing today is about him trying to get ballot access in Nevada.
Yeah.
His campaign is suing the Nevada Secretary of State. I'm sorry, I keep going between Nevada and Nevada. I'm told it's Nevada, but I was raised to say Nevada. So if I say it both ways, I'm not
That's a good
trying
way.
to lobby anybody.
We'll know who you're talking about.
You don't offend anybody that way. Perfect.
I appreciate that. So, anyway, he's suing the Secretary of State there. And what they're saying is that the requirement by the state is that they have the independent candidates have to name their running mate before they start gathering signatures for ballot access. So he's trying to get on the debate stage is what he's trying to do. But in order to fulfill CNN's requirement or whatever that says you have to have a certain amount of, remember for debates now you have to have a certain amount of polling or a certain amount of fundraising or whatever. And apparently this is a ploy by his camp, not a ploy, but they're trying to get on the debate stage is what they're trying to do.
Yep.
So they're suing the state of Nevada's Secretary of State and saying that in January, they gave them the okay to collect signatures without a running mate listed. So they've got like thousands of signatures at this point. But a couple of months ago, the Secretary of State's office said, well, you didn't have a running mate planned when you did this, so this is probably going to wipe out your signatures that you did before because you didn't list a running mate. Now, he has since named a running mate, Nicole Shanahan, in March. But again, that's what they're suing over. They're saying, okay, no, you can't take away our signatures because you told us that was okay.
Boy, that's going to be. I kind of have a feeling that when he appeals this, he's going to have a chance of winning this, right?
Well, I mean, they've got until July the 5th to get a petition to county election offices with enough signatures to get on the ballot. So there's still more time, but they've already gotten a lot of them amassed. And what they're saying is, well, you didn't have a running mate, so these don't count. So it could wipe out a whole bunch of his of the signatures, and that's why he's suing. I will also just give you a weird little historical fact that one of these, just kind of it happens this way sort of thing.
Yeah.
June 5th is actually, that is today, that is the day that Robert F. Kennedy was shot and killed in the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles.
Wow.
It was 56 years ago today.
Wow.
It is, and you know what? And this is what Republicans are hoping is that just the Kennedy name alone will get people who are somewhat nostalgic of those days, or Kennedy fans, or Democrats, or what have you, that they'll just automatically pull a lever for RFK Jr. But the family is out there trying to prevent that from happening. So very interesting. And then the other part of this is what is really most interesting, Tanya, is neither the Trump campaign or the Biden campaign really wants RFK around, because at this point he seems to be taking from both sides, and they're not sure which side he takes more from. So it's a gamble.
This is one of those odd candidacies that, like you said, it's usually when there's a third party candidate, you're like, well, clearly they're going to take from that side.
Right,
and I think early on it was sort of understood by a lot of people that he was going to hurt Trump the most, and he still may.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is kind of weird to have a candidate that, could potentially take from both the Democrat and the Republican candidates.
Yeah, going to be very, very interesting. All right, Tanya, good stuff. As always, we appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Tanya Powers from Fox News Radio. I've been working while Tanya was talking. I did listen, but I can actually
multitask pretty good.
Mike helped me a little bit with this. Some brand new teeth are really swell. An IV drip and a large Coke copy as well.
Journey and 10 brand new teeth.
I just think there's a new commercial. Believe me, once you can grow new teeth, there will be commercials everywhere.
Oh, well, so the one line in the song is, I'm lowering my A1C. I'm growing me some brand new teeth.
That's funny. Well, I just think it's incredible, though.
Listen, there's going to be, as the years go on, the technological and medical advances will be abundant.
And I also believe that somewhere in a household there's a conversation where somebody's going to walk up to their wife or something and say, you're not going to believe this, what I just heard. They're going to start being able to, in 6 years, they're going to be able to grow new teeth. So if you lose your tooth, you can grow a new one. And the woman will be like, where did you hear that? And he's like, I heard it on the Keeler show. I wouldn't believe those idiots.
So and then she's going to be people punch the husband in the tooth.
And he loses his teeth. And
let's test your theory.
There will be plenty of people that will be like, I wouldn't believe them. No, it's coming. Don't quote me.
Right.
Quote Popular Mechanics. What a huge day this is. And I bet it's not. I would bet that it's not painful. Whereas, having a tooth implanted, and that's not so good.
They put you out, don't they?
I get in these things where when I'm editing a TV show, which currently I edit Sold in upstate New York. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on YouTube. Search Sold in upstate New York. It's a real estate show, and I think Bill and Robin Moncho of River Hills Properties, doing a tremendous job.
Yes.
And a new episode that I will be digging in on, finishing up today for this weekend. This is a thing that I think is very important. So how new is the content? I will finish this show tonight. It'll be done.
You must have it down to a science now.
And it will air on Saturday at 2 p.m. on WPNY and Sunday at, I'm told it is now 8:30 a.m. and 11 p.m. on Fox.
Oh, they're changing it up on you.
I guess. I don't know what's going on.
So Lance and Lee speaking up this morning. Good morning,
I'm not done
Lance.
yet. I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done yet. Anyway, you get into these grinds, and I had somebody had given me the nuts that have chocolate on them, and they're red and green and white for the holidays.
Okay.
What are they? It's Italian.
Oh.
Somebody gave me those, and I just was editing away and popping one in my mouth, editing away all day long, popping one in my mouth, and I cracked one of my molars.
So is that what brought you down this path of the
no, because I
teeth?
have an implant.
Oh.
And while the doctor did a tremendous job, still there's some pain with that. You wouldn't have to have that, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
You would not have to have that.
It's your natural tooth.
I also have another groundbreaking story today, but this one is bad. Before I get to that, here's Andrew with a Lance and Lee comment.
Yeah, so Lance and Lee speaking up this morning. Good morning. He said, Larry, I thought you just had autocorrect on. I've spoken to Jeff a couple times. Maybe he can help you out. So maybe we can have Jeff help us reveal.
Oh, as to who he is? Yeah. All I know is...
Or you could just tell us.
All I know is he came up with a legitimate question yesterday that we dug into through the day.
A legitimate story.
And the story is up on our website. Another groundbreaking story here for you. I got to tell you, you're going to walk away with a couple things you can talk about today at work. Number one is, did you hear they're able to grow teeth? Number two is terrible.
Well, do you want to hear what Jan said about the teeth quick?
Not
before
yet.
You move on?
No, I'm moving. You keep interrupting me. What are you doing? I'm on a roll here.
I know. I'm on a weird mood today.
You're on a very impulsive. It's like, whoop, there's a shiny thing. Bear with me. Here's the other thing. The Joro spider, Joro.
Yeah, I'm working on this right now.
This is terrible. Known as the large parachuting Joro spiders, are expected to reach New York State by the end of the summer.
They fly. They're ugly. They're large. They have huge legs.
So you've been digging in?
Yes.
I didn't read the whole story, so tell me what you know.
So this actually dated back to a report from Clemson University in October of last year.
I remember this.
And
these come right out of the tree, right?
Yeah, they're massive. This is a quote from David Coyle, who first spotted what he believed was a Joro spider in his backyard after quickly confirming this species. He says, I walked to the edge of the woods, and they were everywhere. I have a 94-yard perimeter and found 50 Joro spiders on the perimeter. So basically every 2 yards there was a spider. This was in the morning, and the webs had dew on them, so you could easily see them. And there were just dozens of them on power lines across the road. And basically they move in waves. They use their webs to pick up and go into the wind and fly to their next location.
So are they like families? They all stay together?
They must be, but these things are hideous. They're like blue and yellow in color in their bodies. And they're the size of a guy's hand. I mean, here's the dang picture of it.
They are, on average, 4-inch leg span.
You see this?
With a web that is about 2 feet wide. Yeah.
It's disgusting. And if I ever get near one, I'll throw up.
You're a very nervous person around bugs. While most spider species go away as soon as they've been detected, these tend to freeze up for up to 60 minutes or even longer. They don't even move. But I don't think they're poisonous. I can't imagine their bite would be good. They string orb-like webs in places other spiders tend not to go, such as traffic lights, mailboxes. A recent study by the University of Georgia showed that these orb weavers are able to tolerate vibrations and noise, and thus are especially suited to urban environments.
Oh, great.
The good news is they're harmless to humans, and they eat the invasive spotted lanternfly. So that's kind of why they're around here.
Okay, well, I guess it's good they're not poisonous, but they're still disgusting. But there is some concern, though, that they could be messing with some of the ecosystem to an extent.
I'm sure. While some have taunted it as a venomous spider that could apply to just about any other spider, it's not a dangerous spider, says the entomologist and arachnologist Louis Sorkin, formerly the American Museum of Natural History, telling the Daily News. Either way, the experts concur that these things are here to stay, and they came from overseas to the south, and with our warming climate, they are making their way into New York.
Making their way uptown.
Now, my guess is we might not see them as soon as they do along, Long Island and the city and that sort of thing, but we're going to see them and prepare. It's kind of like the stink bug. Do you ever remember as a kid seeing the stink bug? Where'd that come from?
No, that's a new phenomenon.
Probably in some foreign mulch that came from another country, from some warm climate. Anyway,
well, if I ever find the SOB who brought the Joro spider,
you're going to be mad.
I'm going to be very
the large parachuting Joro spider could hit New York later this summer. Andrew, do you have any comments?
I do have one comment.
Okay.
Jan in Utica, my question, will the teeth grow in your mouth or out of your ear? Maybe your arm. Yikes.
No, I believe whatever they're doing, and I don't know how they do this, if it's an injection of some sort, but they grow right where they're supposed to. I don't know if they have to plant a seed of some sort. I know that sounds ridiculous, but yeah, that's all real.
And then Lance and Lee again this morning. If the arrest took place under the Palmieri administration, Samantha would be on the air complaining of no transparency along with other conspiracy theories. I personally believe she suffers from Palmieri derangement syndrome. So Lance and Lee is obviously a Palmieri fan and must be a supporter of a do-nothing mayor.
Do you ever think that Lance and Lee might be
you want to talk about transparency?
Might be Rob Palmieri.
It's possible, but do you want to talk about transparency? And actually, Samantha helped me realize that point. In 6 months, Mike Galimi has been on this program to answer questions in more than the 12 years that Palmieri has.
That is true.
Do you want to talk about transparency? There's
Mike,
a difference there.
Mike, I wonder if Trump gets elected, if he will do a mass deportation of the Joro spider. I believe he will.
Well, that'll be a priority number 5.
In honor of the the Joro spider is here because Biden dropped all of the regulations that Trump had on the Joro spider back in 2016.
They came across the southern border.
In honor of the 4 windows that are given away from New York Sash, Davey should give away $400 for the Habakkuk question.
Oh, 100 a window.
I don't know. Davey is one that's hard to sway him. Have you already figured out what we're giving away today?
Sort of.
All right. We'll get that from you coming up. He seems a little apprehensive, like maybe Habakkuk has spoken with him. Andrew,
I know. He does seem a little bit.
Do you have an out time for me? I'm going to hit 5650. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Next hour, we'll get into Andrew Reed, the legal rundown, the Reed rundown. I like that. Davey's Habakkuk Free Money question of the day. How much, Davey? How much? I was talking to somebody up in Saratoga. They say it is jammed up there. People are, and it's going to get more so as you get towards Saturday with the historic running of the Belmont Stakes up there. Really, really amazing. We'll talk more about that, too, coming up this morning.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
At Kubota, we want to help you deliver a job done right. That's why we want you to know that new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. We have the reliable, durable, and versatile lineup to help you do it. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at inserasflooringoutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, inserasflooringoutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name is Timothy Dean. I'm from Tabor, New York. I have Dean's Concessions. I travel throughout New York State. I have been a customer for over 20 years, personal, with Gates Cole. And ever since I've started my business for the last 18 years have been solely with Gates Cole Insurance. As I have to call them from time to time to get certificates, and they take in within 15-20 minutes. We have a certificate. Gates Cole has exceptional customer service. They're there for you, and I have referred people to Gates Cole, and those people that have transferred over to Gates Cole have been very happy with their services.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance will take care of you.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Remembering D-Day. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden is in France for events tomorrow, marking 80 years since the Allied invasion of Normandy, and then another speech on Friday.
France is our oldest, and one of our deepest allies, and this will be an important moment to affirm that alliance and also look to the future and what we have to accomplish together, both in the immediate term and in the longer term.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the president will be meeting with other heads of state, including Ukraine's President Zelensky. Saturday, he's hosted in Paris by the French President Emmanuel Macron. Around 200 D-Day veterans are in Normandy as honored guests. Jurors at the president's son Hunter Biden's federal gun trial hear audiobook excerpts about his addiction to crack cocaine, and we'll hear more today from an FBI agent testifying about text messages and bank records. Biden's charged with lying about drug use on a form to buy a handgun. Since midnight, the U.S. border with Mexico is closed to asylum seekers between official points of entry per the president's executive order, called a political stunt by some Republicans and facing a legal challenge from the American Civil Liberties Union.
In the absence of bipartisan agreement, President Biden says he's doing what he can to curtail a migrant crisis at the southern border.
We have to act. We must act consistent with both our law and our values.
The president was flanked by a group of lawmakers and border region mayors and law enforcement leaders.
They know the border is not a political issue to be weaponized. The responsibility we have to share to do something about it. They don't have time for the games played in Washington.
The order would turn away migrants seeking asylum in most cases between ports of entry. Once migrant encounters hit 2,500 per day, daily averages already top that. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Trump campaign has opened its first campaign office in Pennsylvania in the reliably Democrat voting city of Philadelphia, trying to win a state back from Joe Biden. America's listening to Fox News.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and there are thousands of rave reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today. And see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, PROTECT to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Professional rock climber and guidebook author Charles Barrett is sentenced to life in prison for sexually assaulting a woman at Yosemite National Park in California in 2016. He was living and working there at the time. 3 other women testified Barrett assaulted them too, and prosecutors say he harassed and threatened violence against accusers for coming forward. Barrett claims the women are lying and he's the victim of a conspiracy. The use of the drug MDMA to treat post-traumatic stress disorder is rejected by a Food and Drug Administration advisory panel.
Known also as ecstasy or Molly, psychedelic advocates say MDMA triggers feelings of euphoria and connection, helping some, including veterans, process or let go of difficult memories. In its decision, the panel cited flawed data, potential risks, including heart problems, abuse, and noting the difficulty of identifying a patient's improvement versus simply undergoing extensive therapy. The FDA is not required to follow the group's advice and is expected to make a final decision on the matter by August. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Anyone with arachnophobia, fear of spiders, might start panicking just listening to this story.
Entomologists say invasive Duro spiders the size of a human hand are expected in the New York, New Jersey area as early as this summer. These giant spiders hail from East Asia and are hard to miss with their 4-inch-long fluorescent striped bodies and 6-inch-long legs. While they appear menacing, they are of little risk to humans and rarely bite. The invasive species has been in the U.S. for about a decade, suspected of having hitched a ride on a container ship from China, Taiwan, or Korea. One bright spot is they eat another invasive pest, the spotted lanternfly.
That's Fox's Sue Guzman. Amanda Knox is reconvicted of slander in Italy for wrongfully accusing an innocent man of the murder she was once accused of her British roommate in 2007. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. We're in the mid-60s. Under sunny skies, your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. People who live in one Oneida County community are being warned to still be advised that a bear was spotted in the area this week. Sightings of the animal were reported in the Maryland and Hardcastle and perimeter neighborhoods in Whitesboro. The bear went up in a tree before leaving, and it is recommended residents bring in their bird feeders and keep their pets inside as much as possible. Anyone who sees the bear is asked to reach out to animal control immediately. State police have released the results of their Memorial Day weekend crackdown on drunk and impaired drivers. Between May 24th and May 27th, 225 people statewide were arrested for DWI, including 21 in the central New York region. There were also nearly 11,000 tickets handed out across the Empire State for offenses like speeding and distracted driving. During last year's campaign, over 13,000 tickets were issued and 218 people were arrested for DWI. New York Department of Transportation workers rescued a tiny kitten that was thrown from a vehicle in a work zone on Genesee Street in New Hartford. Workers reportedly stopped traffic to search for the brown and white kitten and brought her to the veterinary hospital once located. She luckily received a clean bill of health and got a home. One of the DOT workers who was on the scene adopted the kitten, who has since named her Jenny, after the street where they met. There is no information if the person who threw the kitten from their car has been identified or apprehended.
How do they, were they going slow? Obviously, they couldn't have been going fast.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, if they're willing to...
Who would do? I mean, think about it. Who would do such a thing?
There's so many options you can do other than throw the kitten.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a good story.
Okay.
A fundraiser has been set up to help 2 children who are seriously injured in a crash that took the life of their mother. Madison County deputies say 35-year-old Candace Relea was driving on New Boston Road in Lenox Friday when the vehicle went off the road and struck a utility pole before rolling over. Aurelia passed away at a local hospital, and her 6-year-old and 15-year-old kids are still recovering. So far, a GoFundMe for the victims has raised over $3,000. And a juror has been dismissed in a charitable fraud case in Minneapolis after someone reportedly tried to bribe her with $120,000 for an acquittal. Multiple reports say the person went to her and offered her a bag of money. The trial involves 7 defendants accused of stealing over $40 million from a program to feed children during the pandemic. Wow, the case is part of a larger conspiracy involving 70 defendants and $250 million in taxpayer funds. The defendants allegedly spent the money on luxury items instead of feeding low-income children. The trial continues with remaining jurors sequestered as a precaution. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories. In Oriskany Falls, for all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information.
Here's the latest for the WIBS Weather Center today. A mix of sun and clouds in the morning, giving way to cloudy skies this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible, high of 86. Tonight, occasional rain with clouds, a low of 66 degrees. And tomorrow, cooler, shower or two possible early, partly cloudy skies later in the day with a high of 76 degrees. That's the latest time by Johnson for WIBS 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 65 degrees under clear skies. It's 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43 local contractors. The NBA Finals are set to tip off this week as Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics host Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1 on Thursday at TD Garden. The Celtics advanced after sweeping the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're aiming for the 18th championship in team history, which would set an NBA record. The Mavs have won 1 championship in their team history back in 2011. The New York Mets are on a winning streak. They have won back-to-back games after topping the Washington Nationals 6-3 in D.C. David Peterson picked up his first victory of the season after striking out 2 while allowing 2 runs over 6 2/3 innings. Former Yankee Harrison Bader slugged a 2-run shot, and Pete Alonso went deep with a solo shot. New York is now 4th in the NL East at 26-35, and they'll look to sweep the Nats this afternoon at Nationals Park. Meanwhile, the Yankees are red hot again. The Yankees extended their winning streak to 6 games after taking down the Twins 5-1 in their series opener from the Bronx. Luis Gil earned his 8th victory of the year. There's no stopping this guy. He's struck out 6 batters over 6 scoreless frames. The Yankees lead the AL East at 43-19. They'll continue their 3-game series tonight at Yankee Stadium. And what else do I have for you? One more here. The story of the UConn coach. A legend will be staying with the UConn women's basketball program through at least 2029. The school announced that longtime women's basketball head coach Gino Auriemma signed a 5-year extension. The deal is valued at $18.7 million, and he can earn incentives based on how the team performs. The 70-year-old is heading into his 40th season at the helm of the Huskies program. He has led UConn to 11 national titles.
It would probably be a good idea to stick around now that all of a sudden women's sports is like exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows the endorsements he might be able to get in the next 5 years, because that program is quite the program.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He's already done so well for himself that he's probably at this point ready to keep it going.
It's all gravy. Richard says, in terms of the forecast, Saturday and Sunday, highs may not reach the 60s. Well, I got to say, what I'm looking at, the highs won't reach the 70s, but it looks like but it could be. I mean, it's a bad weekend coming up. Looks like it's going to be a rainy weekend. Lots of rain tomorrow through Monday. Poor Saratoga. I even canceled my trip there this weekend because of cold and rainy weather.
Oh, Richard was going to go?
That's what he says. Listen, there are a lot of people that are going to be out there. It's going to be amazing, but you're right. The weather doesn't look good. Do you know at Belmont they're building a whole new track? Davey, did you see this? They're using a synthetic track in Belmont.
Yeah.
So on a day like, on a weekend like this weekend, you wouldn't have to worry about the mud and the muck.
That will save the horses.
Maybe.
It's a 2-year upgrade that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, so Saratoga will host Belmont again next year. So interesting. All right, we have a ton to get to today. We'll even take your phone calls. You have an opinion, a gripe, a complaint. You want to be Lance and Lee and offer us up some sort of a tip that we will follow through on? Be careful with your tips, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes people... I can't believe some of the stuff that's being thrown out there that is just slanderous and not true. So, but if you think you have something and you want to put a sleuth on it, Andrew did all the legwork yesterday on this story. You were all over this story yesterday.
Yeah, we can, just put us in the right direction, and we'll get digging in. We don't hold back with anybody.
I will immediately dig in to get Andrew to dig in. It really works well. We have a system. All right, hold tight. We're coming right back. It is Wednesday morning. Davey, how much money this morning are we looking at for Hobica's free money question of the day?
$4.
Okay. How much money?
Times 100.
How much money are we looking at?
$4.
Okay, beyond the joke. How much money, Davey, are we looking at today?
$100.
Really? We want
100.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh, he's firm today.
You can hear in his voice that Hobica has gotten to him.
Yeah. Did he, as they say,
threaten you?
As they say in the on the streets, did he blank slap you?
No.
Yeah.
Did he threaten to slap a lawsuit on you?
No.
Okay. I think we should go with at least an odd number today because it's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. $4 more, but maybe like $185. What do you think of that?
Okay.
All right.
He's
very easy to sway.
Yeah.
$185 we're looking at. And you know what? Just because today's today, let's make it an even $200. $200, Davey. We'll do that at 7:35. Your chance to win from Hobica and WIBX is coming up.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for over 95 years. Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries, from simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums. For personalized service, call us today at 315-724-7629 or visit us at mohawkvalleymonuments.com.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. That is Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. That is Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. Hey, you could even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines. Or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Memorial Day deals are here at Mattress Express. Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic sets and then get up to a $300 prepaid Visa card from Mattress Express. Then take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on Tempur-Pedic at Mattress Express.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
We're here for you when that tree falls on your garage. Uh-oh. Or when that small roof leak turns into something bigger. Uh-oh. For all the uh-ohs in life, call the Frigo Agency. Life is complicated, and everyone's needs are different. When you sit down with the Frigo Agency, you're dealing with local people who understand your needs. So for all of life's uh-ohs, you need the Frigo Agency on Clinton Road in New Hartford. Get started today at UticaRomeInsurance.com.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedsantique.com.
I want to tell you about Collis, Fred F. Collis and Sons. You know, it was a year and a half ago, our furnace just conked out.
Oh, yeah.
It was the coldest day of the winter.
That's
furnace
always when it
conks out.
happens.
And but the one thing is, when you know you can make a phone call and they're going to get on it, that gives you peace of mind. That's Collis. Fred F. Collis and Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation. And they were there. We ultimately needed a new furnace. Ours, we knew it was going. We knew it was getting older. It was like 26 years old. You know, it's not like the furnaces of old that would, last for 50. You ever walk into a house and you got a furnace that's like nearly 100 years old?
Yes, it's still working.
And it's still working. But the sun has been shining. I know it's going to get a little rainy and cooler, but the sun has been shining. How are you handling it? Box fans around the house, trying to move the air around. Are you the box air conditioners, which are a huge draw on your electric? Collis customers are the coolest. They get taken care of. And right now, for a limited time, you can actually save substantially on home comfort systems installed by Collis with Carrier's Cool Cash rebates. You can save a ton of money. And there are currently fantastic rebates as well for AC, furnaces, air source heat pumps, thermostats, which are programmable, and indoor air quality solutions like air purifiers. All sorts of government programs out there, and Collis will walk you right through it. And the heat pumps that have rebates available too are particularly helpful this time of year when it's 40 degrees at night and 80 degrees during the day, because they switch seamlessly if they need to warm things up a little bit in your home, etc., etc. By the way, cooling season, the deadline to sign up for the Collis Cap Budget Plan to save on your oil deliveries for 24-25 season is quickly approaching. If you want to learn more or have a home energy assessment done for free in your home, call Collis today. By the way, the Cool Cash rebates at Collis will end at the end of the month. Call 315-768-2323. 315-768-2023. I should say 2323. Or chat with them on the web at fredfcollis.com. They'll take great care of you like they did with our family. Fred S. Collis and Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Yeah.
All right, time for us to do our what we call the Read Rundown.
The Read Rundown.
And he's on the line right now. Andrew Reed, attorney through Fox News. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be back.
Now, I just want to say, Andrew Reed, correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, you specialize in trademarks and patents and things like that. We may want to, retain you because the Reed Rundown, we should trademark that.
Let's
we can help
trademark
you
it.
out.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk.
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, what's your hourly rate? No, I'm kidding. We'll move on from that.
I got to tell you, there's a story up here that I'd love to chat with you about. I wish we would have known you back when this was all going on, but there is a candy company up here called Candyland, and and all of a sudden, and they had trademarked it, and all of a sudden, Hasbro, which has the board game Candyland, started doing food and confectionery stuff, and they did a cease and desist, and then Hasbro fought them and just buried them in legal fees to the point where they finally just had to give up. Big company taking out the little guy. It happens all the time, doesn't it?
It happens more often than people think.
Yeah,
But at the same time, a lot of the larger businesses also realize that there is some room to negotiate and to allow the small business to operate. Now, that big business may put a lot of restrictions on the little business, but a lot of times they'll let them go ahead and do business. Just say, hey, here's your lane. Don't get out of that lane.
That's interesting. We, in support of the small business up here, we had a giant Candyland bonfire, the board game. It was just, it was something. We had a blast. That didn't never happen.
His kids were very disappointed.
Okay, let's go with topic number 1. Marvel DC facing a U.S. trademark challenge over superhero. The word or the term superhero. Holy lawsuit, Batman. What do you know on this one, Andrew?
Yeah, this is one. So Marvel and DC actually own a series of trademarks on the term superheroes, and variations of that together. And that's one of the key points here, that the opposer, who is trying to trademark super babies for comics, is saying that trademarks should be a single source of goods and services. So it's one, they're going, having superheroes owned by Marvel and DC, that's not a single source. They both use it to their own individual advantages. So that's a unique piece there that is kind of a twist. But the other part of it is saying superheroes is just a part of an entire genre. And because it's an entire genre, you can't deny another person from using something very similar. And that because of that, those marks for superheroes and superhero should be overturned and canceled.
That's very interesting. And what is interesting is the word super whatever.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. When it comes to comics and that sort of thing, versus food, those are all different categories. And you really have to buy them all if you want all of them, right? And you'll spend a lot of money doing that.
Well, it's one, in the trademark world, it's all about who is using it. So if you're not using it, technically you don't have trademark rights in it. With some exceptions, but for the most part, you don't have those rights. So it's one, without that use, you can't go and capture the entire market, because a good example that I like to always use is you have Delta Airlines and you have the Delta that makes plumbing fixtures.
Right.
Their trademarks are actually very similar in their logos, but they're in completely different areas, and the trademark office says, both of you are allowed to have a Delta trademark because you're in so far apart in what you do, nobody would be confused.
You know, it's weird. I was on a Delta flight, and they didn't have a Delta faucet in the bathroom. Weird, right? I mean, you'd think they'd be like, all right, we're going with Delta.
They went with the Southwest.
Yeah, they went with something else.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Okay, topic number 2, the Department of Justice suing Live Nation. This is interesting. And Ticketmaster alleging they have an unlawful monopoly. And, it just isn't right to have to pay $1,500 to go see your favorite artist in concert. What do you think on this one?
It's going to be interesting. I think ultimately there's going to be some type of either splitting up of Ticketmaster, Live Nation, or they're likely going to see some type of restrictions put in place saying that they must allow so many individual ticket resellers, things of that nature, to be able to do all these events. One of the things that was interesting that's been brought up is that part of the agreement that allowed Live Nation and Ticketmaster to merge was that they could not retaliate against venues that wanted to use a independent ticket broker or things of that nature. They had that restriction in place for 10 years, and the Department of Justice found multiple violations of it and said, hey, you guys are in trouble. We're going to extend this for another, I forget if it was 5 or 10 years. And so now you've got that. So that's another little twist to this case, is they're saying, hey, you guys have already breached part of your agreement for us to allow this to go forward.
Very interesting. Let's see what comes out of this. And then the third topic, this is a doozy. And I wonder what is causing this whole thing. But a woman is claiming in Atlantic City at the casino, one of the casinos there, that the Atlantic City casino is refusing to pay out a more than $1.2 million jackpot that she says she legitimately won. What's the glitch here?
Yeah, so this lady was playing. She hit the jackpot. I believe she hit the jackpot at least, according to the reports.
Yeah.
And then everything, the buzzers go off, everything goes off, and it's going along. And then all of a sudden, the machine freezes up. So she presses the help button. And when the person from the casino arrived, all of a sudden, the machine shows a tilt error, which means that there was an error with how the system was running in the background. I'm not sure because it doesn't say on these machines, but in old days where they were actually had the reels in there that would spin.
Yep.
If it tilted in any way, that would throw off the machine. So that was an error that would occur. Digitally, that doesn't necessarily occur, but if anything happens, that's the error that's returned, at least from one report explaining that type of error. And so they're saying because there was an error, it voids the win, and therefore they don't owe her anything.
What do you think is going to come out of this? Because I do think that if it ever got to a point where there was a jury, I don't know that it would in New Jersey, but I think a jury would be sympathetic to the woman.
It's one, personally, I think you are right that a jury would go with that. But I can also see where there's a flip side, especially if the casino can show, for example, which they have plenty of surveillance, they probably have some cameras pointed in that general area as well. If they can tell when the error occurred versus when it was actually first shown, then we can get potentially in a situation where we know, did it occur before or after a certain point? And that, I think, has a huge indicator of if she wins or not.
Well, listen, you are at the mercy of what's going on in that casino, right? I mean, they have rules,
they're the boss,
and they have cameras, and those cameras are clear and close, so they see everything. Very interesting. Okay, great topics this week, Andrew. We'll do it again next week. Thank you.
Absolutely. Glad to be on.
All right. Thanks so much. Andrew Reed with Fox News Radio. I was, a long time ago, I was playing the game 3-card poker, which you have to know. You don't have to know anything about poker to play 3-card poker.
Okay.
But one of the things you must know is you can pick up your cards. You cannot move away from the table. If you move back away from the table, it's a violation. If you won, you might not win. The other thing is
backing away from the table. What do they think you're doing?
I don't know. You just can't go back. You're supposed to stay up to the table. If you back away, like you're like I'm doing right now, you're like maybe a foot away from the table. You
get to hold your cards.
You get to hold your cards in that game. So this person was playing along, but there's also a rule that it's all done with machines. The shuffling machines. So there's a rule that you cannot touch your cards until the dealer is complete. So that is, the dealer takes the cards, the remaining deck of cards, out of the machine and places them in basically a holder. Once the dealer puts them in the holder, then you can touch your cards. But there was this one guy that just kept touching his cards, and the dealer kept saying, don't touch your cards, because if you win,
I will slap you.
He won't slap you, but if you win, you won't get paid. And sure enough, the guy won. I believe it was over $10,000. But the issue became he picked his cards up well before the dealer put the cards down and broke the rules.
And the eye in the sky never lies.
They saw the whole thing. Well, I know. I saw it. He totally picked up the cards. Because if you know how to play that, you're like, don't.
My other question is, did you know the person who picked up their cards?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. So then you know who it was.
Yeah.
So ultimately they paid. They did pay.
He needs to listen.
But you got to listen. You can't go breaking the rules.
What's he thinking?
And because let me tell you, they wouldn't have changed their mind in Vegas. But at the Turning Stone, they were like, all right, this is an exception. But let me tell you, you don't break the rules. And Andrew, we love breaking rules.
Breaking the law.
Do you know that this Friday is the last episode of Wheel of Fortune with Pat Sajak? By the way, that game he was talking about, the woman said she won and the casino said she didn't. It was the Wheel of Fortune game at Bailey's Casino in Atlantic City.
Oh, the slot.
Anyway, Pat Sajak's final Wheel of Fortune will be Friday.
Yeah, I remember us breaking, or not breaking, but talking about the story that he was going to retire, and that, what is it, Ryan Seacrest that's going to replace him?
That I won't be able to watch.
That is the case, though.
I don't know. It probably is.
Oh.
He does everything, right?
When we return to Wheel of Fortune.
I will not be able to watch that. I mean, it's bad enough. Alex Trebek, I loved him. He's gone.
Yeah.
But I think the guy that Ken Jennings filling in, I think that's pretty cool. I do like watching that from time to time. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. Anyway, and did you also see in TV news, Alec Baldwin, he must be in need of money with this trial.
Oh, yeah?
Or maybe he's thinking, I can show myself to be
he just had another kid, right? Or he's having another child?
I can show myself to be a decent human. Let's do a reality show. They're doing a reality show, the Baldwin family. And they have, do you know how many kids they have? 7 kids.
In his, brothers and sisters, including him?
No.
He has 7 kids?
He has, just with Hilaria there. Whatever her name is. Those two have 7 kids.
Wow.
She just keeps popping them out.
They're either expecting or they're having one, right?
She's always having a baby, it seems. Here's the promo for the, I think I can play it here. Here is the promo for the new Alec Baldwin and Family series. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Ilaria Baldwin. And I'm Alec Baldwin. And we have an announcement to make.
We're inviting you into our home to experience the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the wild, and the crazy. Home is the place we love to be most.
Is this not playing?
I think it's playing through your laptop.
It's
I'm not hearing it
playing
through
through the laptop. Let me just double check.
I wonder if
that.
this reality show will include all the times that he's assaulted photographers and pushed people and gotten angry.
Listen,
and all
here is the problem with Mr. Baldwin. He's got a lot of crap going on, right?
Yeah,
you're right. He has.
But maybe this is also it very well could be a financial need for him.
Could possibly be. Here's the promo.
It could be an
now.
image saving thing.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Maybe he feels he can portray himself.
Oh, look at what a great dad
as
I
a
am.
decent
I'm a nice guy.
Human being.
Hi, I'm Ilaria Baldwin.
And I'm Alec Baldwin.
And we have an announcement to make.
We're inviting you into our home to experience the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the wild, and the crazy. Home is the place we love to be most. You say we are the Baldwins. We are the Baldwins.
No, we are the Baldwins. We all gotta say it. But
1, 2, 3. We are the Baldwins.
Oh my God, that is going to be awful. Who could stand those kids screaming and yelling? Oh my God. But I'm going to tell you, my wife will be watching it. She'll be all about this thing. Anyway, that'll be starting, I believe, in the fall. The Baldwin family show with husband, wife, and 7 kids. Mike says Baldwin should do a remake of the old TV series Have Gun Will Travel. Yeah, he may very well. All right, Davey, I'm going to break now. Hope Mike's free money question of the day. Tell Mike I'll take him after the contest. What caller number, by the way?
Tell Mike to call back in the next hour.
$200 is on the line.
$200.
What caller number?
$200.
What caller number?
Caller number 6.
All right, 6th caller right now. 315-736-0186 for $200. A chance at it right now at WIBX.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for over 95 years. Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries, from simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums. For personalized service, call us today at 315-724-7629 or visit us at mohawkvalleymonuments.com.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Edible Arrangements tomorrow morning starting at 8. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Edible Arrangements has gifts for all occasions. Birthdays, anniversaries, no matter what the occasion, Edible Arrangements has you covered. Don't forget their delicious smoothies and dipped fruit. 2 great locations, Black River Boulevard in Rome and in the Orchard in New Hartford. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates tomorrow from Edible Arrangements at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands, including Summit, Nokian, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Thinking of a purple mattress this Memorial Day? Mattress Express has the largest selection and save up to $800 on select purple sets. Take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on $1,500 or higher purchases.
We're here for you when that tree falls on your garage.
Uh-oh.
Or when that small roof leak turns into something bigger.
Uh-oh.
For all the uh-ohs in life, call the Frigo Agency. Life is complicated, and everyone's needs are different. When you sit down with the Frigo Agency, you're dealing with local people who understand your needs. So for all of life's uh-ohs, you need the Frigo Agency on Clinton Road in New Hartford. Get started today at UticaRomeInsurance.com.
If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name is Timothy Dean. I'm from Taberg, New York. We had a house fire. Got a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. My house was fully involved. That morning at 6 o'clock, I called. Leslie was my agent, and within a matter of 20 minutes, the agent had called me, and within a matter of 2 hours, the agent was on scene, assisting me with whatever I needed, and Gates Cole went above and beyond. I would highly recommend Gates Cole Insurance to anyone for the customer service that they have provided for me during not only my fire, but also for all my business needs.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance will take care of you.
Hey, I want to tell you about River Hills Properties, the leading real estate agency for independent agencies in all of upstate New York. Number 2, if you include the big chains, it's about the services provided. Your listing agent relieves your stress from day one. It's like having a partner to be able to assist you every step of the way and help you sell your home. You're always putting your best foot forward because your listing agent is there every time the house is shown. Call today, 315-896-1009. And if you're thinking about selling your home, list with River Hills. They can do a market analysis. Is that what it's called, Andrew? A market
comparative
market analysis. We'll just tell you basically what your home is worth today. You'll be very surprised. And the new TV show, it's a real estate show, and it's called Sold in Upstate New York. You can see it on YouTube. Search anytime. And this week's new episode will include a luxury featured home out on Delta Lake. And it might be the most beautiful property there. Have the best view there. It is incredible. It's all this week on Sold in Upstate New York with Bill and Robin Monjo from River Hills Properties. You can see it Saturday at 2 p.m. on WPNY, on Fox Sunday morning at 8:30 and 11 p.m. 8:30 a.m., 11 p.m. on Fox TV.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
And the official coffee of this radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. The matcha green tea latte is so good. Check it out. Coffee, espresso, lattes, breakfast sandwiches. Their glazed donuts are to die for, especially when they come off the rack. So good. Fast drive-through. It's Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. Davey, we've agreed at $200 this morning. And on the line right now is Sherry, ready to take a shot at that from the Hobica Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobica. For all of your legal needs, call 315-724-1600. Sherry, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Sherry?
Doing pretty good.
Feeling good about this one. I know you are.
I wish I got through yesterday, but we'll see.
Yeah, how much was yesterday? What did we do yesterday?
Like
$300?
$350?
I forgot.
$400?
$200.
Okay. Davey is, you knew yesterday's answer.
Yes.
Okay. And yesterday's question was...
White.
Well, the Snow White. The
I
first
think I
ever
even knew that.
feature-length animated movie was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah. All right, here's your question. You have 7 seconds to answer. Here we go. How many kids does Alec Baldwin have? Ready, go.
12.
You're going to go with 12. Alec Baldwin, the number 12, is that it?
He's competing with Nick Cannon, apparently.
Turns out he has 7 kids, which we just talked about, with Hilaria. But he also has 1 daughter with Kim Basinger. And
that was the thing where there was a dispute of some kind, right? He had a fight with that daughter or something?
Oh, it was awful.
There was a big
that divorce
controversy.
was horrific. It was bad. Anyway, had I asked the question, how many kids will Alec Baldwin ultimately have when he's all said and done? I believe it may be 12.
Right.
But right now it's only 8. All right, we're going to give you one of our brand new retro throwback T-shirts. Yeah, really cool. And we'll give you a $25 gift card to any of the properties associated with the Comets. It's the fun and food card. And remember, Babes has a wonderful brunch on Sundays you could check out. All right?
All right, yeah, thanks.
Okay, Sherry, don't go anywhere. Davey has you covered. On the line right now is Senator John Manion. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
I assume you knew that Alec Baldwin had 8 kids.
I know Alec Baldwin's sister, and I know his mother loved Wegmans and Camillus,
Yes.
and that's why he wouldn't leave. But I did not know the number of kids. No.
Yeah, so it's they originally were born in Long Island, but the mom moved up here, and a lot of the family spent a lot of time. So the Baldwins have spent a lot of time in Syracuse.
He visits frequently.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. You have a primary just around the corner. How do you feel?
I feel good. You know, I've lived here my whole life, and I know the area. I know the challenges we have. I think I have a good sense of where people are coming from. I was in a classroom for a long time, almost 30 years, and now I serve as a state senator, which is something I'm very proud of and consider very important work. And, now I'm running for Congress, and all you can do is work hard. I'm continuing to do my job. I'm calling you from Albany this morning. I'll be voting on bills today, but we're excited. Early voting starts in just about 10 days, and I get the opportunity to continue to share my message and where I'm coming from between now and then. And, I thank you for having me on to share a little.
So your opponent, of course, is Sarah Clee Hood. And then, of course, if you win here, you move on to the general, where you'll face Republican Brandon Williams in the 22nd Congressional District. I do want to ask you on the state side, and being a former teacher, are you worried about where the governor's going when it comes to funding schools and, the foundation aid and all of this complicated stuff? But it does seem like smaller school districts, which there are many of those smaller school districts in your district and ultimately in the congressional district. Are you worried right now?
So what I would say is, first of all, when I got into office, we made a commitment in the legislature to fully fund the foundation aid formula, and we accomplished that. So that's something that is a source of pride for me as somebody who has my own children go to public schools, and I and my wife taught there. That's something we had to do. We also expanded universal pre-K in upstate New York. We expanded school meals. But one thing that is absolutely a problem is that foundation aid formula is antiquated, it's flawed, and some of our smaller, especially smaller city districts, are really at the wrong end of that formula, and it needs to be changed, and there is a task force to do it. So, budgets are about prioritizing. We've prioritized public education. The cuts that the governor proposed after we fully funded that, we rejected, we pushed back, and some of our districts, I had very good conversations with board members, families, and superintendents, and they were really going to be in tough shape if we didn't push back. And that's something that is a bipartisan effort. We made sure that the governor knew that we thought this was a bad idea, and as a result, we moved it in a positive direction.
There is this push back and forth, upstate versus downstate, because downstate funds with higher home values and property values. They do a lot of their tax dollars come upstate to assist up here, and they're always pushing. We need less to upstate. So there is that. It seems like you do have that battle, and a lot of those smaller school districts are upstate.
Yeah, listen, I'm an upstate guy, right? So I got into this making sure that our voice was heard. And that's why we got the expansion of universal pre-K into upstate New York, because myself and others had the opportunity to say, we need our fair share here also. So I appreciate what you said, too, because there's certainly a dynamic where, as an upstate person and the uniquenesses of where we live, sometimes we travel long distances to work. We certainly have a lot of agricultural land. There's a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
It's just unique to us. So you got to be in the conversation. But I'm glad you said what you did, because sometimes it's like, upstate, we're just pouring money into downstate. That's not really the case, But when it comes to issues, legislation, funding, it's good to be in the room and say, you know what, this doesn't work for us. And, I'm proud of making sure that voice is heard. And we have our priorities. We have our own priorities. And if we're not voicing those priorities, they're not going to happen. So
Andrew,
we work hard.
And by the way, there's a group out there that wants to succeed from downstate.
Yeah.
I don't know, to become lesser than Mississippi. What are we looking for? Because we would have no tax base whatsoever. It would be disastrous.
Yeah, that's just not a realistic movement. And, you think about things like the SUNY system, right? The SUNY system crosses the entire state. And I think generally people are pretty happy with the public education, higher ed system that we have. And that's just one thing that would be very complex to make a change. And that's why, I hear people's concerns because, again, there's times where you go, you know what, this is not really a priority for upstate New York. And that's where I work with my colleagues in the Hudson Valley, Long Island, and upstate to say, we got to get this right. What's in this for us? We just had a housing thing go through where we fought and got in millions, tens of millions of dollars for infill housing, vacant properties, renovation, and support when people have a hard time, covering a one-time shot of, emergency rent relief.
Yeah.
But that was, if you didn't have upstate voices or Long Island or Hudson Valley voices, it wouldn't have happened.
Speaking with John Manion, state senator running for Congress in the 22nd Congressional District, Andrew.
Senator, thanks so much for joining us. I actually was inspired to finally reach out to you and get you on because every time the Yankees go into a new inning, I see your commercials. So well done there. But I just wanted to ask about your opinions. Again, there's the difference of upstate, downstate. While you are a Democrat, there are a lot of upstate people concerned about bail reform and its impact on us here locally. What is your take on that?
So, first of all, I've been supported by law enforcement organizations and endorsed since I started running in 2018, and I'm endorsed again by the New York State Troopers PBA in this election. Those changes to bail happened before I was in office, and I shared many of the concerns of your listeners. And what doesn't hit the media all the time is we have moved the needle. We have strengthened those laws in 3 budget sessions, addressing the issues of reoffending, making more crimes bail eligible. But, I talk to people every day about this, and there are still frustrations out there because we want to make sure that judges have the discretion to do what they need to do to keep the community safe. These are, what we're talking about are pre-trial situations where there's bail set or there's remanding. But public safety should be of the utmost importance. I have supported law enforcement. They've supported me. And I've only strengthened those laws regarding bail after that initial change that happened prior to me getting in. So, I have good relationships with district attorneys, law enforcement, and the advocates that are pushing for criminal justice reform. And I truly believe we can have, accountability while we still have, safe communities. And safe communities, they need to be safe for commerce. We want our communities to thrive. And that's why, especially some of this retail theft that's happened, we've got to address, and I believe there is an initiative to address it. We got some of that done in the budget.
I want to ask you, have you been watching any of the things going on in Washington, obviously running for Congress? You have to be up on these issues. Have you seen any of the back and forth between Congress members up on Capitol Hill? Oh, and by the way, if you have, what are you thinking?
Right. Well, let me answer that first. I would tell you at least once a day, or about once a day, somebody says, John, don't do this. What are you thinking? Don't do it. But I truly believe, and I think you've seen this, in central New York and the Mohawk Valley, we generally have had really strong leadership, people who care about the region, and people who aren't toxic or juvenile. They really have done a good job, and they're usually pretty close to the middle, because they have to be a good reflection of the region. So I'm proud of being able to get things done for my district. My current Senate district, I have 33 municipalities. 29 of them are run by Republicans. So I'm working with leadership that happens to be in a different party for me, and we represent the same people. So we want to help them with grants or constituent services or whatever. And I just think that's how we're built in this region. We don't like the toxicity. We don't like the name calling. We like when people are fighting for us. And I think that I've done that. Additionally, my Senate district, I have more registered Republicans in my Senate district than Democrats. And I'm the only Democratic senator where that's the case. Wow. And I see that as again, I wear that as a badge of honor because I'm here to help everybody. The majority of my life, I was not super political. I was, doing a job I loved in a classroom teaching science, and I gave it up because I really felt like we need people who will just do a good job and work with everyone. And I think my record for 4 years says that. And if you speak with my Republican or Democratic colleagues in the Senate, I think they would agree.
I want to throw one question out on the border. If elected into Congress, where would you stand on the border right now, the southern border?
Well, we need comprehensive immigration reform, and we can't politicize it. You know, for decades, we've had to address our immigration laws. We have to fund the system. It has to be a lawful process. It has to be a humane process. It has to be orderly, and it has to be logical. And I think what gets people fired up is that it's not logical to many of them. So we have to fund the courts. We have to treat the people like, you know, most of us are children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren of immigrants. We want to make sure that it's lawful and orderly, but we need to fund the system. That means, you know, physical barriers, technological barriers, staffing, of course, the courts, and it has to be bipartisan. You know, we need to do this together. You know, there was a Senate bill out there that I think would have been helpful and moved us in the right direction. But the president, Congress, they got to work together because, again, we are a nation of immigrants. There will be immigration into this country. We got to get it right. We can't politicize it, and we can't be afraid to talk about it either. We got to talk about it and get it done because we're going to have immigration in this country. Let's make sure it's lawful, orderly, and funded.
John Manion, Senator John Manion, we appreciate the time. Good luck in the primary. Maybe we'll chat with you one more time before early voting starts next week. And we appreciate the time this morning. Thank you.
That would be great. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
You'll be busy in Albany for this week.
I know, as it wraps up.
Listen, Steepani Mazda, the Move to Mazda sales event is back and underway. As Ricky Z says, come in and drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 Select Sport model for only $275 a month on a 36-month lease. Or save with low APR financing of 0%, 1.9%, 2.9%, or 3.9% on select 2024 Mazdas. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda at Steepani Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Not enough, too much, or better than nothing? I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. There are mixed reactions to President Biden's executive order turning away migrants seeking asylum until fewer people are crossing the border.
South Texas officials like Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar say they would have preferred bipartisan legislation to deal with the border, but are supportive of President Biden's restrictions on asylum.
Is it perfect? No, it's not a perfect solution, but I think it's a really good start that I think we should all absolutely give a shot to.
Republicans in Congress say the executive order is nothing but a political stunt with little substance. The ACLU's Immigrants' Rights Project says it will challenge President Biden in court, writing in a statement it was illegal when Trump did it, and it is no less illegal now. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Lebanese army says a security guard is wounded and an attacker is wounded and captured after firing shots at the U.S. Embassy in a suburb of Beirut, Lebanon. Now that he's convicted, a conviction that's being appealed, former President Trump wants a gag order in his criminal hush money case lifted.
Lawyers for former President Trump sent a letter to Judge Juan Merchan saying that since the end of the hush money trial last week, there's no longer a need for the gag order their client is under. The gag order was issued by Judge Merchan in March, who said it was necessary to limit the former president's statements out of court due to, quote, threatening, inflammatory, and denigrating comments. Trump lawyers say due to the former president's campaigning, it should be lifted, citing a debate with President Biden later this month and statements from adult film star Stormy Daniels and the former president's former attorney, Michael Cohen, both prosecution witnesses. Former President Trump was convicted of 34 felonies and faces sentencing on July 11th. In New York City, Tanya Powers, Fox News.
An American man, John Nelson Pullis, is sentenced to 42 years in prison for the murder of his girlfriend, a DJ, Valentina Tres Palacios, a year and a half ago. America's listening to Fox News.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and there are thousands of rave reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today. And see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, PROTECT to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Voters will decide whether unlawfully entering Arizona from Mexico should be a state crime.
Following the state Senate, Arizona's Republican-led House approved the proposal in a 31-29 vote, bypassing Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs and sending the measure to the state's November ballot. If approved by voters, the measure would make it a crime for migrants to cross into the state from Mexico, allow local police to arrest them, and state judges to order deportations. Supporters say this will help state officials better secure the southern border, while critics argue the measure is unconstitutional, political, and could lead to racial profiling.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. An American bomber and fighter jets are used in a drill with the South Korean military.
A long-range United States B-1 bomber has flown aerial drills on the Korean peninsula, dropping so-called bunker-buster precision bombs. The last time the U.S. carried out this kind of exercise was 2017. The munitions were dropped using JDAM, a system that turns unguided conventional bombs into precise GPS-guided weapons. The drill is being seen as a show of force against North Korea as tensions in the area remain high. The North launched balloons carrying trash and manure southwards last week. Seoul then suspended a military deal and vowed to resume frontline operations. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Today's the deadline to submit a claim in a lawsuit against Walmart.
Walmart denies any wrongdoing, but it's settling a class action lawsuit allowing consumers who purchased weighted products that may include meat, poultry, pork, seafood, and bagged oranges and grapefruits from Walmart. If you have receipts, you may be entitled to up to $500. No receipts, up to $25 of the company's $45 million settlement over a 2022 claim that Walmart falsely inflated and mislabeled product weight.
Fox's Jeff Bonasso. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time. 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth a trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. It's 70 degrees already under sunny skies, working our way into the mid to upper 80s. Your full weather forecast is coming up. People who live in one Oneida County community are being warned about a bear that's been spotted in the area. Sightings of the animal were reported this week in the Maryland, Hardcastle, and Perimeter neighborhoods in Whitesboro. The bear went up into a tree before leaving, and it is recommended residents bring in their bird feeders and keep their pets inside as much as possible. Anyone who sees the bear is asked to reach out to animal control immediately. Yet another business at Destiny USA is going to be closing down in just a few weeks. The owner of World of Beer says the bar and restaurant's last day will be June 30th, and a farewell celebration is set for June 21st. The establishment first opened at the shopping center back in 2013, and the owner wants to work with mall officials to rebrand it under a different concept. The World of Beer in Syracuse is the only one in New York State. State police have released the results of their Memorial Day weekend crackdown on drunk and impaired drivers. Between May 24th and May 27th, 225 people statewide were arrested for DWI, including 21 in the central New York region. There were also nearly 11,000 tickets handed out across the Empire State for offenses like speeding and distracted driving. During last year's campaign, over 13,000 tickets were issued and 218 people were arrested for DWI. And hurricanes are very expensive types of natural disasters, and experts warn that this year, storm-related damage is likely to be significant. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says it expects an 85% chance of above-normal activity this hurricane season, which spans from June 1st to November 30th. 4 to 7 of those storms might be major hurricanes, Category 3 or above, with winds over 100 miles per hour. Insurance rates have gone up dramatically in hurricane-prone regions, but there are things you can do to lower your costs. Reinforcing your roof and upgrading windows and doors to storm grade can ultimately work towards lowering your overall insurance rate. It is 8:07. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest for the WIBS Weather Center today. A mix of sun and clouds in the morning giving way to cloudy skies this afternoon. A street shower or thunderstorm is possible, high of 86. Tonight, occasional rain with clouds, a low of 66 degrees. And tomorrow, cooler, shower or two possible early, partly cloudy skies later in the day with a high of 76 degrees. That's the latest time by Johnson for WIBS 950. 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 70 degrees under sunny skies at 8:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43 local contractors. The NBA Finals are set to tip off this week as Jason Tatum and Boston will host Luka Doncic and the Mavericks of Dallas in Game 1 at Thursday at the TD Garden. The Celtics appear to be healthy heading into the NBA Finals, as center Kristaps Porzingis said Tuesday he is planning to be available for Thursday's Game 1 against the Mavericks. The New York Mets are on a 2-game winning streak as they defeated the Washington Nationals 6-3 in D.C. yesterday. David Peterson picked up his first victory of the season after striking out 2 while allowing 2 runs over 6 2/3 innings. New York is now 4th in the NL East at 26-35. They'll look to sweep the Nats this afternoon at Nationals Park. The Yankees extended their winning streak to 6 games after taking down the Twins 5-1 in their series opener from the Bronx. Luis Gil earned another victory, his 8th of the season, after striking out 6 batters over 6 scoreless frames. New York is leading the AL East at 43-19. They'll continue their 3-game series tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Los Angeles Dodgers organization wants to move past their recent betting scandal. That's according to a written statement from the pro baseball team. The Dodgers commented after a Tuesday guilty plea by Ippei Misurara, the former interpreter for Shohei Ohtani. He admitted to stealing over millions of dollars from the Japanese player. He could get 30 years in federal prison for stealing to cover his illegal gambling debts. And the Panthers and Oilers are preparing for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. The sides clash in Sunrise Saturday night. Florida enters the final as the top seed in the Atlantic Division and eliminated the Lightning and Bruins before taking down the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. Edmonton checked into the playoffs as the second seed in the Pacific Division and dispatched the Kings, Canucks, and Stars in the Western Conference Final. The Panthers are seeking their first Cup win in franchise history, while the Oilers haven't hoisted the trophy since 1990. WIBX 950 news time is 8:11.
All right, well, coming up, we'll get into your comments and your calls. Ryan Nobles later on in the hour from NBC. And what's on your mind this morning? What's bothering you? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to complain about? I did have somebody call me yesterday and tell me that I was nuts. That alleyway is beautiful. Now, I know that Nancy Ford has been talking about how unsafe it is. And, yeah, if there are these giant wooden panels falling off the side of the building, that's pretty unsafe. However, my thing is not anything about that. It's simply ugly and doesn't fit the decor down there.
Can I just say,
at the very least, it doesn't fit the decor. I wouldn't want that in my backyard. I wouldn't want that in my front yard. I wouldn't want that in my house. You shouldn't want it in your city.
And for
That's
those
all.
who...
And this is nothing against Katie Aiello. She has a nicely decorated coffee shop.
Yes. And she cares. That's the one
I
thing
do
about
think she
Katie
cares.
Aiello that's consistent. She cares about the city. She means well. But I have to say that for those that were opposed to the new mural when they took away the sunshine, the sunrise mural.
I think the new mural doesn't look all that great either, but it's not worth fighting over.
At least it's nice. Like, at least it's a nice,
I
beautiful
agree.
painting.
This is horrible.
This is literally green with a blue strip through it.
Shoddy.
There's
Shoddy.
no detail. There's no real depth to it. There's no real
Shoddy looking.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. And if you say it does, then you're being ridiculous. Sometimes it is important to say, you know what? I didn't really hit it that time. We didn't meet the mark on this one. So let's correct it and move forward. Admitting you're wrong is important. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And if you're saying we're just attacking her, then you're definitely wrong, because it has nothing to do with her necessarily, as far as I'm concerned. It has to do with that's ugly. Just looks awful. Let me break, and I will. You know what? I also thought those Utica signs. The first one that went up at the Odd was really cool, and then Mayor Palmieri did another one, and I'm like,
the parking garage.
I think that looks ridiculous. But I stand corrected. The one in
the parking garage as you're coming down North Genesee Street.
When you see it, I think it's nice.
I like that.
So I was wrong. But I am not wrong on this green eyesore. And we'll have her on Friday morning. She's coming in, right?
That's what she says.
Yeah. We'll break and take your phone calls, 315-736-0186, and your comments as well, 315-736-0186. If you've not downloaded the app, WIBX 950 app, you should do so. Very easy to communicate with us, very easy to hit one button, and you're listening to the show. And you get news breaks and stuff like that as well. Just search WIBX 950 in Google Play or in the App Store.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands, including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
The Memorial Day deals are at Mattress Express. Take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for anything in the store for qualified buyers. Then save up to $800 on Stern sets, $800 on Purple sets, $500 on Sealy, and $500 on Tempur-Pedic. Only at Mattress Express.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Edible Arrangements tomorrow morning starting at 8. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Edible Arrangements has gifts for all occasions. Birthdays, anniversaries, no matter what the occasion, Edible Arrangements has you covered. Don't forget their delicious smoothies and dipped fruit. 2 great locations, Black River Boulevard in Rome and in the Orchard in New Hartford. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates tomorrow from Edible Arrangements at SeizeTheDeal.com.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it. That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and Utica Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Gigantic invasive spiders are set for a New York City debut this summer. The Joro spider here is the nightmare fuel in question, and it can have a leg span up to 8 inches. Some are massive enough to catch and eat small birds, and experts expect them to populate the entire eastern seaboard eventually, which all sounds scary, but there's no need to panic. Everyone just needs to remain calm and set the East Coast on fire.
Instagram has started testing unskippable ads that users can't scroll past. Here's how it works. You get to an unskippable ad, then you just open TikTok.
According to a new study, the second dirtiest city in America is Newark, New Jersey, and the first place, whichever city is downriver from Newark, New Jersey.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, Davey, I don't know if you saw this, but did you see that Tyson's fight is being postponed?
Yeah, because he got an infection.
He has an ulcer of some sort.
He got on a plane. He got sick last week.
Wow. You got sick.
Is it canceled or are they postponing it?
They postponed
it. It has been postponed. And the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight has been postponed because Tyson has an ulcer.
Oh, boy.
And this is what I'm... Now, apparently, the minute this happened yesterday, there were people that came out saying, hey, we've got somebody that you could have this fighter and this one to fill in for this event, and then you can do Tyson later. No. And they're saying, because this is all on what? Netflix.
Oh,
they say,
God.
I'm sorry, our first fight is going to be Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul.
And Jake Paul. Yeah. And then one more, Mike, I'm going to get to you in a second. Stand by. From the category, what would Jeff Banaski do?
I know where this is going.
In Minnesota, a juror was dismissed after it was revealed that a woman dropped a bag of $120,000 in cash at her door. What's more, the woman was told that there was more where that came from if she voted to acquit 7 people charged with stealing more than $40 million from a program meant to feed children during the pandemic. These 7 defendants are the first of 70 expected to go on trial in a conspiracy that cost taxpayers $250 million.
Yeah, I read this story earlier. It's disgusting.
What
Literally
would
disgusting.
Manaski do? The unnamed 23-year-old former juror immediately turned the bag of cash over to police after it was left with her father-in-law on Sunday.
Oh, so she's not getting it. She's not in trouble.
She's not in trouble, but they said you've been tainted. We're going to dismiss you.
And it doesn't bode well for the defendant.
Yeah. You're with me. No, it does not. And it is like, but what would Manaske do? We'll have to ask him.
He would probably say,
this is a little different than finding a $20 bill on the ground.
Yeah, he'd probably take 20,000 of the 120,000, put the 100,000 in the bag, and say, "They gave me $100,000 to bribe me." And what's the defendant going to do?
You know what he?
No, it was 120,000.
What he could have done is taken it to the casino, put it on black, and doubled it.
Yeah,
and then give them their money back.
120. Yeah,
and then keep, or he loses the whole thing. It's like, okay, mom's the word.
I kind of like the taking a good portion of it, because again, what is the defendant going to do? Say, no, we actually gave him a $120,000 bribe.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't admit to that.
Well, you'd have to wonder too: is it possible that was the FBI giving you the bribe, trying to set you up?
The
FBI wouldn't do that. Well, you never know.
Yeah. And I don't put anything
on
past
the line
them.
right now is Mike and Skylar. Hello, Michael. Hello. Good morning.
Hey. How you doing? I was listening when you guys were talking about that person at the casino. I wonder how much time lapsed between when that happened and then when it went tilt. Did you say how much of a time lapse when it happened?
It apparently happened right away. So it showed ding, 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 ding. You won $1 million. Ding, ding, ding. And it went tilt.
I know if it was me, I would take my cell phone, take a picture of it because I want to have that.
Right.
And I'm wondering if she had enough time.
Well,
to
they're
do
not
that.
challenging. They're not challenging that the thing went off, that she won the $1 million. They're saying that because it tilted, it meant that the process did not work properly. But I got to tell you, I think she has a fair argument.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if they're not even challenging the fact that it said the million.
Right, they're not. No, they're not
challenging that. That's going in her favor too.
And probably this attorney took the case saying, "I'll take the case. Here's what I'm going to make, but I won't charge you if you lose." I wonder if that's
like
the
a
case.
pro bono.
Yeah.
A pro
Well,
bono.
a lot of the time, lawyers will do that.
Well, they're taking a
personal
commission, so
injury
it's really not right. Personal injury, that's just the way it always works, right?
Uh,
You don't pay
one thing
unless we get paid. We don't get paid unless you get paid.
Right.
You know.
One thing, Bob, don't forget next week too, because I always look forward to more to what happens Monday because I always get older the same week. But the convention starts Monday with the worldwide developers to see the stuff that's changing in the fall. I did hear that they're going to have a whole new redesign of the phone, so keep an eye on that.
Interesting.
One thing, it's a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but it'd be kind of neat. You know how, like, when you're driving in the car as a passenger in the back and you're looking at your device and you get car sick? Apparently, they might have some technology to make it so you don't. It has some kind of dots or something that looks at what you're looking at. I don't know, but that's a rumor. I don't know if that's going to be true, but we'll find out next week.
Listen, we can now do anything. After it was recently announced what we're able to do in 6 years, I don't know if you heard it earlier this morning, but this is incredible. In the next 6 years, according to Popular Mechanics, Davey, we're going to be able to regrow human teeth.
Regrow human teeth.
This is incredible.
I mean, what do they just take, like you can transplant a lung or a heart or a kidney?
You won't even need a transplant.
You can transplant other
grow.
people's teeth into your mouth.
Well, you won't need to do that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because they're able to, they feel within the next 6 years, it'll be a process that you're able to do. You'll be able to grow with the help of your dentist. You will be able to grow. If a tooth came out, you can grow one back.
That's crazy.
If a tooth broke, you could grow it back. Think of what this is going to do for the NHL alone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'll have to keep an eye on it. I had a tooth removed a couple weeks ago, so I'll have to keep an eye on it.
Ask him about it. Ask him, say, they're going to start with trials in the fall. Maybe you volunteer as a trial guy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, just saying. All right, Mike. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Have a good day, everyone.
You have a wonderful day. By the way, Big Honey this morning, when I'm talking about the alleyway and how disgusting it looks,
yes,
I just think it's ugly. That's all. It's not anything, I'm very particular with stuff. You can ask my wife when when she's decorating the house, I'm the one to come in and say, oh, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't look good.
On the outside?
Wherever. And that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Not good.
Ugly.
Doesn't fit the decor of the rest of the house. And Big Honey says, why are you dancing around the fact they should just have Rob Esch come to that alleyway and put his stamp on it, and it would look beautiful.
Yep.
I got to tell you, everything that's going, that Nexus Center and everything they've done at the Odd looks unbelievably
Everything
beautiful.
Rob Esch touches to green.
It's aesthetically beautiful. It matches with the area. It matches, that courthouse, that beautiful courthouse that is next to the police station was the first one. Because that's a really well-built, really nice aesthetic building.
That blends with the
older architecture of the police station. And with what you want things to look like downtown. Not a fluorescent green, ridiculous art project. It looks terrible. Here's Kathy in Rome, and she agrees with me. Hi, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning. I heard your little jingle this morning before 7 o'clock. I went out at 7 o'clock and woke the neighbors up and mowed my front lawn.
Good for you. I mean, you want the place to look nice, right?
Well, the codes, they come through on Thursdays, so you want to make sure everything's all prim and proper.
Okay, all right. I didn't realize that if you don't mow your lawn, codes could knock on your door.
Well, I would surmise that if your lawn got to a certain height,
no, that is true.
that they could send you a letter.
Is this the jingle you heard right here?
In the morning, Keeler in the morning.
Is that the jingle?
It might have been.
Yeah, it might have been.
Or it might have been the your teeth growing jingle.
Oh yes.
If you lost your tooth, you don't know what to do.
I'm growing my own teeth.
And I'm going to have a great big set of teeth. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That stupid Jardian commercial has me turning the channel every time it comes on.
Why don't you come up for a jingle for the Belmont Stakes Saturday?
We should do that. We should.
I'll lose it all at Belmont Stakes.
Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think will win?
I still am undecided, but
Okay.
I'll call in tomorrow and give you my pick.
All right.
Davey, what do you think?
I like the 9-horse, Bill. Sierra Leone is the early favorite at 9-2.
Sierra Leone is the favorite. I think it's 9-5.
9-5.
Yeah.
Is that any
Plus
relation
the
to
Preakness
Sierra Leone?
and Mystic Dan's went running too.
So long shots, you never know. There aren't any big long shots here, are there?
No,
well,
there
you
isn't.
got Protective at 20-1.
Well, I kind of think this year's the crop just isn't of horses.
Yeah.
Just isn't. No particular horse really stands out.
Well, you have Seize the Gray, which won the Preakness, and that is 8-1. Mystic Dan, which won the Kentucky Derby, which is 5-1. And then they say this Sierra Leone is the one to keep an eye on. That's the favorite.
Yeah, but it also depends on if there's going to be rain up there in Saratoga too with the track.
But isn't that a grass track? Don't they run on grass?
The inside is grass. The outside's dirt.
All right. So what do they run on?
They're
Dirt?
going to be running on the dirt.
On the dirt. Okay.
So one thing, Bill, before I don't want to forget.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you mentioned it yesterday. I was in and out, and yesterday was apparently National Hug Your Cat Day.
Oh.
Did you hug your cat, Bill?
I did not, Kathy. Because
he hugged it a little too tight.
Is it Hug Your Cat Day or Hug Your Wife's Cat Day?
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Take it either way, Bill.
All right. Okay, Kathy.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You have a good day. Thank you. Yeah, I did not hug my wife's cat. Although, let me tell you something. I probably could. It's the weirdest cat.
It's nice.
It is the weirdest cat. The cat will come like right up onto me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife, who loves the cat, will try to get the cat to come up on her, and it won't. I think cats know when they annoy people, and they don't want They don't want a cat on them. They come right on you.
Well, the cat was walking around enjoying your show when we were down in the basement broadcasting from your house.
All over you, Davey. Remember that?
Yes.
My wife was all worried the cat was going to get anxiety and wet all over the place. I'm like, believe me, she's like all over Davey and Andrew. This cat loves these people.
John from Bridgewater. Bill, who did the work? I think he's referring to the Franklin
It's a
Square
company.
alley.
It's actually a company local.
He said, so I won't hire them to do my driveway.
Yeah, you don't want it. And I don't think they'd ever done this before, which is clear.
So it's an experiment.
It's poorly done. What else do I have here? I mentioned Alec Baldwin. Pat Sajak is coming to an end on Friday. You know, I think that's going to be... It's the end of an enormous era. I mean, that whole... It's bad enough... what's his name from Jeopardy is...
Alex Trebek.
Is gone.
Yeah, that's
but I believe Vanna is staying on.
Yeah, well, why would?
And I do think
she,
you're
you
right.
know?
I think it's Ryan Seacrest.
She looks the same as she always has.
I believe it's Ryan Seacrest taking over. This week, they're playing all sorts of older clips from Wheel of Fortune. Here's one where a contestant jokes about bad wife and kids. Here's audio.
Hello, Blair. Hello. Cardiff, California. Own the trucking business, it says here.
Small trucking business in San Diego.
Good for you. And talk about your family.
I've been trapped in a loveless marriage for the last 12 years to an old battle axe named Kim. She cursed my life with 3 stepchildren named Star, RJ, and Ryan, and I have 1 rotten grandson.
Yay!
He was
no wonder
drinking.
You came here. He just wanted to get away from everybody.
I found a record the other day, an album, and I wonder, it's probably not worth anything, but it was an album, How to Use a Home Computer from like 1975.
Really?
And you play it, it tells you what what benefits there are to having a home computer. All of this before the home computer was a thing. There's a record album. I thought that was kind of neat.
So did Pat Sajak take over from Chuck Woolery when he did the Wheel of Fortune?
Chuck who?
Chuck Woolery.
Woolery. Say Woolery. Here's an easy way to do it.
Lee.
Close. Chuck Woolery. Now I can't say it.
Sorry.
Chuck Woolery.
No, it's,
Wool-er-E. Chuck Woolery. Let's try it together.
E.
Woolery. Close. Pretty close. Pretty close. Sometimes you get one of those words, it's hard to say.
Sorry.
Right? Say that
Don't
3 times
apologize.
fast. I mean, you couldn't do it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a new study that the top things that can immediately make us smile. Top things that can immediately make us smile include hearing good news, going on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Winning money, receiving a thank you, and seeing someone else smile.
I can see that.
Right? Smile, Davey. Oh, that makes me smile.
Oh, that's so nice.
Here is Paola Garcia talking about how she tracked down her own luggage, called the cops, and her theory on who is stealing bags. Oh, I'm sorry. I switched to another story. That'll be the next story. On top of that, being on the receiving end of the random smile lifts our spirits for an average of 13 minutes. And here's audio.
Yes, it's a beautiful duck, yes. But you see, it's smiling at me.
There you go. And a Florida woman who lost her luggage while flying was able to track down her suitcase to an airport employee's home where she found multiple stolen bags across his property. Paola Garcia is talking about how she tracked down her own luggage, called the cops, and her theory on who is stealing the bags at the airport.
15 minutes from the airport because I said, how Spirit moved my suitcase there? The first things I remember the police told me is like, what are you doing here? This is so dangerous for you to be here. I think it's a group working in the airport. One person no can do that. They just take baths.
I feel like I'm trying to order new service at Spectrum.
Can you have her pronounce Woolery?
Holy moly. There's 32 seconds we'll never get back. I have no idea what she said, but she had to be frustrated. I mean, and then you find out that someone from the airport is stealing the luggage.
Well,
terrible.
In truth, probably the person working there thought she wanted to send it somewhere else. I mean,
maybe.
Let's be honest.
All right, coming up, we'll speak with Ryan Nobles from NBC. There's a lot going on. We'll get into all of that coming up at WIBX.
For a lasting impression, trust the quality and craftsmanship of Humphrey Memorials. They're experienced in all facets of memorial design, sales of monuments and mausoleums, on-site cemetery lettering, cleaning and restoration, and specialty services like etched glassware, mirrors, and landscape products. Humphrey Memorials of Herkimer has been making a lasting impression in central New York since 1946. They also handle commercial construction projects as well. Find out more at humphrey-memorials.com. or call 866-4471.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at inserasflooringoutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, inserasflooringoutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
The Utica Center for Development wants you to join the City of Utica's Independence Day Parade, sponsored by Master Vito Hyundai. Register for the parade, have fun, build a float, or just walk and show community support on July 4th. To register for the parade or to be a vendor for the 4th of July party in the park, sign up today at ucdevelopment.org. The City of Utica parades are brought to you by the Utica Center for Development, Master Vito Hyundai, Bank of Utica, and Save the Day Foundation.
Memorial Day savings at Adirondack Home Furniture is here, and that means time to upgrade for summer. For a limited time, Adirondack Home Furniture is offering 2 years interest-free financing. They're overstocked in every department and need to make room for new pieces. Upgrade to a new sofa, dining set, bedroom set, outdoor poly furniture, and more. Adirondack Home Furniture has a large line of quality, USA-made furniture from top manufacturers. You'll find something for every room, inside and out. From modern to farmhouse, rustic to transitional, with 2 years interest-free financing, free local delivery, and a professional, knowledgeable staff, you'll have your dream home in no time. Plus, their salespeople are non-commissioned, so you'll enjoy a relaxing, no-pressure experience. Celebrate Memorial Day and save big at Adirondack Home Furniture's 2 years interest-free event. Stop in today, Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center in North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Need a great deal on a bed and low on cash? Come to Mattress Express, put no money down, take up to 60 months to pay for qualified buyers on anything in the store. Massage chairs, mattresses, etc., $1,500 or higher.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186 or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I want to tell you, if it's happening in Herkimer County. This weekend is the world's largest yard sale. It happens at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, beginning at 8 a.m. on Saturday. You can check that out. Over 160 vendors. Am I giving that number correctly? Is that true?
It's close to that.
Wow. Unbelievable. The Dollarville Violet Festival is this weekend. A Princess and Little Mr. pageant on Friday. Also, the biggest little parade in the area takes place Saturday, June 8th. This Saturday at 10 a.m. Kids Fun Run is on Sunday, and over 75 vendors, 80 organizations, and 10,000 people expected at this hometown Herkimer County event. Details and registrations can be found on the Dollarville Violet Festival Facebook page. The Herkimer County Senior Picnic will be taking place on June 12th at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, 11 a.m. till 3 p.m., coffee and donuts at 10 a.m. Any resident 60 years old or older can attend. Boxed lunches will be included. And the town of German Flats will be hosting a car and truck show with Brooks Chicken Barbecue on June 8th, 11 till 4 p.m. to benefit the old schoolhouse renovation at the town park. Rain date of June 9th. Rain date of June 9th. If it's happening in Herkimer County.
Very exciting stuff. And
some words, Davey, you don't have to worry about it. Some words are just difficult. Everybody has a word they can't pronounce.
Yeah, don't get upset over there.
Say it with me one more time.
Woolery.
There you go, Chuck.
Put it all together.
Chuck
Woolery.
Say it quickly.
No.
Okay.
So apparently he was the host until 1991, and then Pat Sajak took over.
Do you know what Wheel of Fortune used to be like before Pat Sajak?
No.
They used to select. They didn't give money. They had a giant wheel on the ground, and I think. But
are you making this up?
They would select the prizes. So like I won $12,000. I'll take that bedroom set. Oh, you've taken a beautiful bedroom set. That's from.
Oh, so they would accumulate the money and then buy the gift.
Right, it would be fake money. I mean, it would be like coupons towards, and that's what you walked away with, and trips and that sort of thing. And then they changed it to money. Last night, the guy who is on Ted Lasso won in the celebrity. So this was primetime celebrity Wheel of Fortune. I watched a little of it. He won like almost $300,000 last night.
Wow.
Very
Who's hosting
smart guy.
that? Who's hosting that? Is Pat Sajak
Pat
hosting?
Sajak, yeah. It's a repeat. It was on earlier in the season.
Yeah. Lance and Lee, quickly, let Billy know that I like the violet shirt.
Thank you. I don't call it violet. Light blue, I call it.
Okay.
I think it's kind of purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here he is, Ryan Nobles from NBC.
Good morning.
Hey, Bill, good morning. You know, if my career had gone in a different direction, maybe I'd be the host of Wheel of Fortune.
I think you could have.
It's never too late, Ryan.
You could have. Ryan, what was his name?
Seacrest.
No, the guy who used to do Jeopardy. Winkdale?
Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale. Yeah, that's right. Ryan Martindale. Is the sports coach, is the coach Wink Martindale? Is that a kid of? It's got to be. Who else would have that name?
No, I don't think
look very different.
Related.
They're not
I don't think
related.
they're even related.
That's
His name
unbelievable.
his real name is Don Wink Martindale.
Don Wink Martindale?
The coach?
Wow. It's funny how you can say that, but you can't say Chuck Woolery. It's the weirdest thing. Good morning. Good morning. And by the way, Chuck Woolery's become a conservative radio host. He's very conservative. Hello, Ryan Nobles. Good morning.
This interview's already gone off the rails. That's
It has.
That's what
Yeah.
we do. Yes.
Everything is just terrible right now. And do you know who's replacing Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune?
I think it's Ryan Seacrest, isn't it?
Can you believe it?
God, that guy's everywhere.
Doesn't he do enough?
Yeah, I think that job though, man, gold standard. I mean, $20 million, you work like 3 months out of the year.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. Like they'll do like several episodes in just a few days.
Yeah.
And then you're done for your.
It's just something about those Ryans. They get all the luck.
They get it all.
Yeah.
All right. What is your big story right now? What are you working on right now? Is it Hunter Biden?
I'm in Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah.
I'm staring at the courthouse right now for the Hunter Biden trial. I've been here since Sunday night. Going to be here through the duration. So I was in the courtroom yesterday, and it was pretty dramatic. They were playing excerpts of his audio book where he details with great specificity his lengthy and ongoing battle with addiction, and in particular his penchant for smoking crack. I think it's been a very difficult and painful process for the Biden family. First Lady Jill Biden has been in the courtroom every day. She just walked in again a few minutes ago, and so she's been sitting through all of this. His sister is in the courtroom as well, his current wife. So I think part of the reason that Hunter Biden had tried desperately to try and plea himself out of this situation is exactly what we're seeing play out right now, and that's kind of the very public display of his troubled past. And it maybe not be something that directly impacts his father's reelection bid, but it certainly doesn't make the process any easier. And it's going to just continue on here over the course of this trial. But then when he's up on these tax charges, which is a whole separate set of charges, and that could be a much lengthier trial in the fall, and that's going to come right as the election is really starting to heat up.
The one funny thing I find is if he was, well, I don't think there's any doubt that he admits he was doing crack cocaine. If you're around someone doing crack cocaine, the one thing you're going to get is lies. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a given. Yeah. So I don't think there's any surprise there. You know what I was most surprised about, Ryan, is that he had a relationship with his brother who had passed away, Beau Biden. He had a relationship with Beau Biden's wife.
Yeah, and that is going to be another kind of pain point in the Biden family that is going to become a major storyline in this trial, because Hallie Biden, who is Beau Biden's widow and was a kind of a short-term romantic partner of Hunter Biden's after Beau Biden died, she's scheduled to testify. She may be the most important witness in this proceeding because she was there that day that he purchased the gun. The reason that this came to the attention of authorities is because she found the gun in his truck. She was worried that he may do something rash, like maybe even take his own life. So she basically stole the gun from him and threw it away at a local grocery store. And Hunter Biden flipped out basically because she had taken the gun from him. And that's how police kind of caught wind of the fact that he had made this purchase. And that's what led federal investigators, in the course of investigating everything else related to Hunter Biden's troubles, found this form that he had filled out to purchase the gun where he checked a box saying that he wasn't an active drug user, which the prosecutors contend was a lie. That's against the law, and the penalty is jail time. So, what prosecutors have already kind of demonstrated is that they're willing to go pretty deep into this sordid past of Hunter Biden's and unearth all these uncomfortable things that took place, and that includes this relationship that he had with Beau Biden's widow. And obviously Beau Biden's death is kind of one of the great tragedies of Joe Biden, the president's life. And, I think that while, they put out a statement around the time that he and Hallie Biden were involved in that relationship that was kind of generally supportive of it, it was a very intense and short-term relationship, where both Hunter and Hallie were active drug users, and it came at a time of tremendous trauma and pain for the Biden family. So to have to revisit all of that in a courtroom for the world to hear is going to be very, very difficult for the Biden family.
So Beau Biden's wife was also a drug user.
Right. And what's not clear, and I think is going to be, she's written a book too, I believe, about her experience. Everybody's written books, which is also has not been helpful. But I think part of what we're going to learn during this testimony is the role that Hunter Biden may or may not have played with her own struggles with addiction. And, I think, in defense of both of them, the death of Beau Biden was a awful tragedy, one that rocked both of their worlds in ways that they probably weren't prepared for. And like many Americans, they sought solace with substance to try and kind of dull the pain, and they had a shared experience in that respect. So but again, they're going to have to, when you get involved in that kind of activity, you're on the edge of, if not actively involved in breaking the law, and that's going to be all part of what is in this conversation. And to kind of expand upon that, Bill, his drug use is not really what's at issue here. He's not charged with using drugs. He's not charged with buying drugs. He's charged with lying on this form. And one of the things that prosecutors have said over and over again is that the issue is not whether or not he used drugs. The issue is whether or not he lied about using drugs.
Right.
But I wonder if the prosecution could get themselves in a position where they become a little too bullish in making that point. I sat through jury selection. There were a lot of members of this jury have family members that have dealt with substance abuse. There's a degree of sympathy that could emerge throughout this process that could backfire on the prosecutors if they're not too careful. So we'll have to see how this all plays out.
Don't you find it interesting, the world of politics, and it speaks so much about our politics today, how depending on who you support, you pick and choose what's good and bad.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. Like, so if you're a Democrat, the things that Donald Trump did were just terrible. Grab the grab the woman by the on the bus. That was terrible. How dare he? And then, but there will be Republicans who are like, oh, come on, everybody. It's locker room talk. Everybody does it.
Right.
Okay. Right. Now you look at the Biden thing, and Republicans are like, this is despicable. And but you have Democrats saying, well, come on, it's not that bad. I mean, he had a drug problem. It just amazes me how we are not able to see things clearly as a society when it comes to politics today.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that, Bill. But the one caveat I would offer to that is that when you listen to, and I've listened to and talked to a lot of Democrats about the Hunter Biden issue, and while Democrats, largely believe that in general the media is making too much out of this because Hunter Biden's not running for office, his father is, he's a private citizen, I do think that in general you don't see Democrats doing is criticizing the judicial process. You don't see any of them saying that this is a witch hunt against Hunter Biden. No one's suggesting that if he's convicted that they should attempt to overturn the conviction and that he is being railroaded by the judicial system. They're, in many respects, respecting that process. Even the president himself saying that he wasn't going to make any comment about the federal justice system at all. And I think, where you have Republicans that are trying over and over again to make this case that there's a two-tiered system of justice, it's pretty hard to make that argument when this same Justice Department has allowed the president's son to kind of go through this very public and ugly legal battle. And at the same time, which no one's really talking about, a sitting United States senator is in the midst of a corruption trial of which a conviction is likely, and he could be sent to jail, and he is a Democrat.
Yeah.
So I do think, obviously there are Democrats that are making excuses for Hunter Biden that they wouldn't be making for him if we were talking about Donald Trump Jr.
Sure, yeah.
I do think when you look at the assessment of how the justice system is playing this out, there's a real difference between the way Democrats are responding to it and the way Republicans are.
Yeah, I think it is very, and it is extremely dangerous and so odd for Republicans who, if you're a George Will Republican, you really are a Republican, and the Republican Party is the party of law and order. But if you're Donald Trump, everybody's really got to follow in line, and they're using the same language that he's using. And if he's saying it's a witch hunt and there's a double standard, then that's what they're repeating later in the day and all weekend long. That's just the way it is.
Right, and Republicans that you maybe would be surprised to see doing that. People like Marco Rubio, who is a former prosecutor, or a former lawyer. I guess he's a current lawyer, but worked in the court system before, and was very respectful of law and order and the way that the court system operates. It's it's kind of a weird place that we find ourselves in to see the criticisms of the judicial system itself that I think in many respects there isn't a lot of merit to. This is just people trying to score political points and, more than anything, trying to demonstrate their loyalty to Donald Trump. That's their number one priority that goes above and beyond the facts of the case or the way that this process is actually playing itself out.
All right, we'll be watching, Ryan. Thank you. I'm assuming you'll be back back on Nightly News tonight covering the story as well. We appreciate your time.
I will. Yep, I'll see you there tonight.
Thank you,
Bill, for having me. I appreciate it.
And go Mets.
Yeah, well.
Trying. I sent you a little meme that I thought was kind of funny. So
they're actually in Washington this week, and so I was thankful that NBC sent me to Wilmington so I didn't have to deal with that.
Right. So. That's a good point. All right, Ryan, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Ryan Nobles, although the Mets have now won 2
in a row.
All right, gotta go. Kilmeade is coming up after news, which is next on WIBX.
With summer just around the corner, wouldn't it be great to have AC? You deserve to have air conditioning in your home. And no, I'm not talking about those clunky window units. I'm Jen from Standard, and my team is here to help. Regardless of the type of home you have or your income, we can install AC and make sure you stay comfortable this summer. And even better, in many cases, rebates and incentives significantly reduce the cost, or you could even get it for free. Call Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating today at 315-859-6292. We promise to save you money.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day. Veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend, made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend, plus receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
An ex-wife on the stand. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Kathleen Buell is expected to testify at Hunter Biden's federal gun trial in Delaware today after more testimony from an FBI agent. Prosecutors also played parts of Hunter Biden's audiobook where he talks about drugs.
They played massive amounts of excerpts from it during the first day of questioning with FBI Special Agent Erica Jensen. They're using his words to establish he was a crack user and an addict when he bought that gun back in 2018. Prosecutors also showed the page of that gun form asking if the gun buyer, Hunter in this case, was in use of illegal drugs. It's marked no. They showed text from Hunter the day after he brought the gun saying he was waiting for a dealer named Mookie. The defense says the gun form essentially asks whether Hunter is currently a drug user. It doesn't ask whether if he's ever done drugs.
Fox's Rich Edson in Wilmington. A triple-digit heat wave peaks today in the west.
Today's weather headline is dangerous heat with record-breaking highs over California, the desert Southwest, and parts of South Texas. Temperatures will be in some cases 20 to 30 degrees above average and well over 100 degrees for some cities through Friday.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. An American once convicted of murder is reconvicted of slander in Italy.
Exonerated over the 2007 murder of a British student, Amanda Knox was trying to clear her name again. This time a charge of slander for wrongly pinning Meredith Kircher's death on an innocent bar owner. Knox was a 20-year-old exchange student in the city of Perugia at the time, now a 36-year-old mother of two. She claims she pointed the finger at Patrick Lumumba because police forced her to, but the court sentenced her to 3 years in jail. Knox won't actually go back to prison because of time already served. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The Lebanese army says a man who fired shots at the U.S. Embassy is wounded in a gunfight and captured, and that a security guard's wounded. America's listening to Fox News.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word PROTECT to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info